Good evening, friends. Baka nagtataka kayo, hala, bakit naging 9:35 with Dubs na siya? Well, because hindi naman kasi ito about good evening. Hindi naman ito about kung anong oras ako nagla-live. Hindi to series na every 5 o'clock, araw-araw, magkikita-kita tayo. Not necessarily. Again, this is not a vlog. Wala tong schedule. Depende lang sa panahon, depende sa trip, depende sa ano yung mas gandang pag-usapan. And originally, I thought I will be talking about kung ano yung mga uso, ano yung mga pinag-uusapan, ano yung mga viral, about theology, about religion, about faith, our lives. Pero napansin ko na hindi pala to ganun ka-regular nagva-viral. And wala lang, I've always wanted to share more of my thoughts to, well, not necessarily build an audience, but to share. Naalala ko when I was younger, when I was in high school, I wrote blogs sa Multiply. Sino nakaabot dun sa Multiply? And I liked writing blogs. Even if no one was reading them, I like sharing my thoughts to people. And probably this is how God uses individuals. No, He gives them bursts of inspiration. So do not expect na this will be regular. Uh, this won't be regular. I don't know kung gaano kadalas ito mangyayari, kung anong oras siya mangyayari. But nevertheless, we will be talking about different things, about different thoughts na baka hindi naman masyado pinag-uusapan. Baka naisip na natin pero hindi natin talaga tayo nagkaroon ng chance na i-explore. And tonight, my dear friends, we'll be talking about the theology of rest. Ayan. We'll be talking about the theology of rest. And baka nagtaka kayo, theology of rest, bakit parang pinakomplikado mo yung rest? Hindi ba ano yan? Papahinga ka lang, tapos na. Yun na yun. O baka iba sa inyo naghahanap what theology means. Well, theology means the study of God. The study of theos, no? God. And logos. Ngayon, we'll be talking about how rest, pagpapahinga, is actually a part of our Christian duty. Hindi nyo in-expect yun, no? Alam nyo, bilang mga Katoliko, bilang mga Kristiyano, more often than not, akala natin our duty is to work, and work. But actually, the Lord gave us a duty to rest as well. And we'll be exploring the concept of rest. How rest relates to our lives, to the way we worship, and how rest is actually a gift from the Lord. Alam nyo, naalala nyo sa Bible, from Genesis chapter 2, verse 3, na, so God blessed the seventh day and hallowed it, because on it, God rested from all the work that He had done in creation. So, alam nyo ba na the word rest, or yung concept ng pagpapahinga, can be found or is mentioned approximately 500 times in the Bible, depending on the translation. 500 times minention sa Biblia ang konsepto ng pagpapahinga, no? Magpapahinga. And alam nyo, God Himself rested on the seventh day after 6 days of creation, of work. And alam nyo, baka iba sa inyo, nagpapaisip, no? He is God. Hindi naman siya napapagod eh. So why did He need to rest? Bakit niya ba kinailangan magpahinga? Well, because He valued rest as much as He valued the creation. Okay, yun yung ano yun. The reason why God gave time for rest, because His value for creation is equally valuable as resting. Mapapansin nyo, on each day, God created something. Hindi to literal. We shouldn't take Genesis literally. Na on the first day, ginawa talaga ni God, hiniwalay niyang light and darkness, etc., etc. This could be a symbolical or poetic story of creation. Pero God made different points, different significant moments in creation. God made something that is very valuable, and on the sixth day, He created He created humanity. in His image and likeness. Di ba? Na meron tayong sariling araw natin. On the sixth day, God created man and woman. Pero kung mapapaisip tayo, mga kapatid, He also rested on the seventh day. By itself, the action of resting is God's movement. It is God's action. And so, if man is holy, creation is holy, then rest is also holy. Pwede naman na hindi nagpahinga ang Panginoon eh. Pero the reason why he rested, because rest is holy. Gusto niya ipakita na holy ito. In the Ten Commandments, as stated in Exodus 28 to 11 and Deuteronomy, God instructed us to remember the Sabbath. Naalala niyo yun? Keep it holy and do not do any work. Okay? Because He wants us to rest on the seventh day of the week. So mapapansin nyo na from the beginning of time until the time of Jesus, the time of the apostles, God worked, rested, and valued the rest. No? God created us to be like Himself. He blessed creation, thus He values humanity. And so God commands His loving creation to rest on the seventh day the same way as He did. So, gusto niya na rest, na yung pinaka-importante niyang ginawa, which is humanity, His most valued creation, will be able to enjoy as well what He enjoyed. And that is resting. Okay? That is resting. Kayo ba, baka meron kayong gustong tanungin or gustong i-clarify. Talaga na baka may disagreement about it. Pero yun yung baka controversial for some, pero it's actually true. It is in the Bible. And it is how our church teaches us that rest is holy. Rest, the concept of rest is holy. It is a holy act that God gave His people. Okay? Pero wag natin aabusuhin ng rest. May pinagkaiba ang rest, pagpapahinga, sa pagiging tamad. Rest sa pagiging sloth. Rest sa pagiging mediocre. When you need to do something and you've been resting the whole day and doing nothing to improve yourself, that is not rest anymore. That is sloth. Rest is something that you do after you work. Okay? Klaro yun, ha? It is something that you do after you work. So, it is not something you do before you work. It is something you do after your work. Kasi before your work, you are actually not resting. You are preparing. You are building yourself up. You're preparing for something. But rest is something you do after your work. And so, we go to the next part. Sinabi dun sa Bible na I want you to rest and I want you to keep the Sabbath holy. Diba? I want you to keep the Sabbath holy. We must remember that when God was talking to the Israelites, the Jews of the Old Testament, the Sabbath for them and for God is Saturday. Okay? Saturday. Through the Mosaic law, the law of Moses, the Sabbath, okay, is set on the seventh day. Kasi symbolically, yun yung time, ng day of rest ng Panginoon. And so, with Judaism, with the Jewish religion, they established this day as a day of holiness, a day of rest. Therefore, they are prohibited from working. They cannot work. Hindi sila pwede magtrabaho. Meron nga medyo mga stricto na Hudyo na kahit pumindot ng button sa elevator, hindi pwede gawin. Because this was the day that they're not supposed to do any work. Hindi sila gagawa ng trabaho. And ang dito is they gather to worship in the temple of Jerusalem or the synagogues. So they gather for worship. Okay? So Pero this is what we should see with this reality of resting. Resting does not mean you don't need to do anything. Okay? Resting means you are refraining to do work. When you help other people, it doesn't necessarily mean it's work. When you do something good for other people, it doesn't necessarily mean it's work. We should not take um, the concept of rest literally na walang ginagawa na para ka lang lumulutang nagfo-float sa dagat. Resting is an act of rest. It is an act of um, breathing in, breathing out, and actually resting. That's it. Ganun kasimple. Pero uh, what the early Jews did, they misinterpreted it. Umabot sila sa point na uh, may may nahulog sa balon, hindi mo tutulungan. When Jesus healed during Sabbath, pinagalitan siya ng mga Hudyo. Bakit ka nagpapagaling? Alam mo bang bawal yan gawin sa Sabbath? But Jesus told them na hindi naman na Sabbath, na man was not made for Sabbath. Sabbath was made for man. We should not be slaves to the concept of rest. Baka kasi ang ano dun is, kailangan ko to gawin, kailangan ko magpahinga kasi hindi ako kailangan ko magpahinga kasi ganito ganyan, requirement kasi to sa akin, pero ayoko magpahinga, pero dahil required ako magpahinga, magpapahinga ako. Lalo na pag when you're in the mood, tas sinabihan ka matulog ka na-experience ko na to pa nag-edit ako ng mga videos nung younger years ko, tas sinasabi sa akin magpahinga, naiinis ako kasi inisip ko, paano yan, deliverable to, may deadline to, tapos pagpapahingayin mo ako, paano ko walang mangyari, paano ko hindi ko tumatapos? So, pero dire-require ako, so naiinis ako. But this shouldn't be our attitude, because Jesus was telling us that Sabbath is my gift to you. So use it. Don't allow yourself to be used by it. Use it. It's my gift to you. And alam nyo, may nagtanong yung girlfriend ko, kasama po ba sa rest pag uwi ng maaga? Yes. Sana hindi tayo late umuuwi. Na kung pwedeng umuwi ng maaga, kasi alam nyo, may difference rin yung meron kang kailangan tapusin or yung naghahanap ka na lang ng rason na hindi umuwi. Magkaibang bagay din yun. Christ compels us, God compels us to take our rest. And so, rest and you will be holy. Okay? Rest and you will be holy. And so with that, we turn into Sunday. Kung Sabat ay yung Sabado, bakit tayo nagse-celebrate ng Mass? O bakit ang mga Katoliko o mga Kristiyano nagpapahinga ng Linggo? Anong relate nito? Di ba? Anong relate nitong pahinga na to? Itong Sunday na ito? Well, because in the early Christian days, in the early Christian church, they recognize na there is something new to be celebrated. The Sabbath is still Saturday. It is still the day of rest. But because of some recent event, may nagbago. At yung nagbago na yun, yung resurrection ni Kristo. Yun yung event na nagbago ng lahat. Okay? So, it supplanted and superseded the Sabbath because from the day of rest, we are now celebrating our deliverance from sin, from worldly passion, from Satan. And so, we celebrate the Lord's Day, which is Sunday, the first day of the week. Kaya, sineselebrate na natin yung the Lord's Day. Sineselebrate na natin yung yung uh, first day of the week because we are now celebrating the resurrection of Christ. So, oo, yung Sabbath ay Sabado pa rin. Remember, the early Christian church were composed of both Jews and Gentiles. And some of the Christians were still practicing Jews that time. So, nakip pa rin yung Saturday. Pero there was this new sense and movement in the Christian community to celebrate, to gather together, to worship on Sunday kasi ito na yung first day of the week, and therefore a day of rest because this is the day that the Lord has made. There is resurrection, there is joy, there is celebration, and so kaya tayo nalipat sa Sunday. Okay, so as I check some of my messages, friends, do you have any questions or clarifications na baka gusto nyo ma-clarify? Okay. So far, okay naman tayo lahat, no? Wa- Nakakagulat, no? Hala, kahit pala rest may theology. Yes. Even the concept of resting has theology. We need to rest, brothers and sisters. We need to rest to allow our minds to be at ease, to collect our thoughts. That's why treasure rest. When you need to sleep, close the computer, close the mobile phone. When you need to sleep, put away your screens, put away the distractions and rest. When you go on vacation, try your best not to check your emails. Try your best not to do work. When you go home, try your best not to do work as much as possible because this is how the Lord wants to bless you. This is how the Lord wants to build you up when you rest. Okay? And so, as I end uh, this live segment, let me share to you my reflection on bakit natin sineselebrate ang Sunday at bakit hindi Saturday na yung ating Lord's Day. This is a reflection na naisip ko lang out of the blue when I was younger, when I was a kid. Alam niyo mga kapatid, if you will reflect, di ba sabi ko, balik tayo sa Genesis. Balik tayo sa story of creation. On the first day, in the beginning, there was light. Tama? And God separated light from darkness. Di ba? Ang galing nun. Ngayon, if you think about it, every day of the week, there was something new that God did. And on the sixth day, God created man and woman. Tama? Okay. On the seventh day, God rested. Okay? So nakikita natin yung pattern. Anong araw ang sixth day? Pwede bang paano dyan? Kung ang Saturday ay seventh day, Sabbath, anong araw ang pang-anim na araw? Sige, pwede bang ano yung mga tao dyan, mag-chat. If the seventh day, the Sabbath is Saturday, what day is the sixth day? Pwede nyo ba i-chat? Anong day of the week yung sixth day? I'll wait. If yung Saturday, yung Sabbath ay seventh day, anong day yung sixth day? Pwede nyo bang i-chat? Tulungan nyo naman ako, friends. Anong day yung sixth day? Meron akong kasama dito na chat na daw. Anong araw ang sixth day? Yan, chinat na nga niya. Okay, chinat na niya. It's Friday. It's Friday. Ngayon, let's fast forward from creation to crucifixion. Anong araw namatay si Jesus Christ? Anong araw namatay si Jesus Christ? By tradition, pag Holy Week, anong araw natin? Tama dyan, Quadras, Friday siya namatay. Okay. On the sixth day of creation, sino ang ginawa ng Diyos? Tao. Tao, di ba? On Friday, God created man and woman. And at the same time, on Friday, namatay si Kristo. Sino ang cause ng pagkamatay ni Kristo? Tao. Nakita niyo ba yung connection? That's the connection. It transcends time. It's the preview of the reason and the purpose of Jesus' death. Ngayon ito, on the seventh day, God rested. That's Saturday. Okay? On the seventh day, God rested. That's Saturday. After Good Friday, ano ang susunod na na sineselebrate pag Holy Week? Okay? Hintayin ko yung mga sagot niyo. After Good Friday, ano yung susunod na araw? Anong tawag doon sa susunod na araw? Okay? Ayan, lumalabas sa screen yung isa dyang katabi ko. It's called Black Saturday. Ito yung araw na nagpapahinga ang Diyos. Ito yung araw na patay si Kristo. Nakita nyo ba? On the seventh day, God rested. And at the same time, on the seventh day, nung crucifixion, patay si Kristo. He was resting. You see the connection? You see the connection? On the seventh day, when God rested after the creation, on crucifixion, Christ rested. He was dead. And so, that brings us to why we celebrate Sunday. Why we celebrate the Lord's Day. Because on the first day, ano ang sinabi ng Panginoon? Let there be light. And He separated light from darkness. And on Sunday, Jesus resurrected. And He separated light from darkness. On Sunday, in the first day, Christ gave birth to the new creation. At na-separate ang light from darkness. So, as you can see, the story of Genesis is a preview of the story of the resurrection. The days of the week are not trivial. And what we do with our lives and the things that we do, such as resting, what God did, resting, are not trivial. Hindi to maliliit na bagay lang. These things are connected towards the greater plan, the greater promise of the Lord for my life and for yours. And so, this Friday, na sweldo day rin para sa marami, this weekend, I ask you to rest. Rest. Spend time with your families. Spend time with your areas, with your ministries. Serve the Lord together. Worship the Lord together. Rest in your homes. Wag mo na mag-work. Magpahinga muna. Mag-household muna. Household ay pahinga. Assembly ay pahinga. Itong mga bagay na to ay pahinga. Gamitin natin itong panahon na to para magpahinga at para sambahin ang Panginoon together. Dahil itong araw na ito, Saturday, when God rested, and Sunday, on the Lord's resurrection, we participate in the new creation. Thank you, friends, and happy Friday. Happy Friday.